All right. I don't know if I'm going to find it or not. Yeah, I'll just read it a little bit. Therefore, whoever resists the authority resists the ordinance of God. This is about being a good citizen, by the way. Romans chapter 13. I'm in verse 2. Therefore, whoever resists the authority resists the ordinance of God, and those who resist will bring judgment on themselves from the government. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Do you want to be unafraid of the authority? Do what is good, and you will have praise from the same. For he is God's minister to you for good. But if you do evil, be afraid, for he does not bear the sword in vain. For he is God's minister and avenger to execute wrath on him who practices evil. The reason that I do believe in capital punishment as a ability of the state is that verse right there. That's talking about the state of Rome. Do you know who wrote that book right there? Paul the apostle. Do you know who he wrote it to? The church at Rome. Do you know what it was illegal to be in Rome at that time? A Christian. Paul went there and died there. They cut his head off. But he said, I will still be submissive to the state because they are God's instrument of ministering on this earth. You say, that's nuts right there. It is crazy. But I'm telling you, God is the ultimate authority. And it doesn't matter. Man, you realize if they said next week, we're going to tax all churches 50%. We'll have a choice. Don't pay it, they'll burn us down or stack hay in here. We start saying, well, we better pay it. So we start paying 50% taxes. A few weeks after that, they say, we're not going to let children attend church anymore. One parent has to stay home. We don't want children being, messed up, listening to crazy people. So they do that. Then they finally say, you know what? Those preachers won't hush. They keep saying crazy stuff, so we're going to kill them. Now, see, I got a choice. I either got to go underground and not talk to anybody and let them know where I'm at, and that would do what? Or else I'll say, I'll be one of the easy ones to find, guys. Sunday morning about 10:30, I'll be right here. Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? Preacher, you're nuts, man. If you think God thinks I'm going to die for him, well, see, he is nuts because he died for you. And anything less than that, and you don't really care all that much, is what I'm saying. You think this is a club, some sort of social gathering. It looks good to show up for church. I'm sorry, this is not that church. This is the church where it's real, because it's going to get real. And you got to get ready. So I'm asking you to show God that you mean business. Now, I'm going to show you. This week, will you join me in another time of fasting? I want you to pray for a man's name, Dr. Bruce Moyer. Dr. Bruce Moyer will be our preacher next Sunday. He was my professor in college. I don't even want to tell you this, but if you think I know anything, he taught me a good bit of it. He's forgotten more than I know. But I appreciate him, and I want him to come here. And I've already written him, build a fire in your soul, and you bring it with you, because we're going to try to do it here. Will you pray for someone that needs Jesus to be more real to them? Will you pray for someone else? Pray for Bruce Moyer. Pray for yourself. Will you pray for God to have his own way in this church? And here's what my commitment is this week. My wife looked at me the day we broke our fast together. We had breakfast together, and we talked about it, and she said, that's not even hard for you. And I said, really and truly, fasting is not hard for me. I know you can't look at it and tell, but I don't have to eat. I eat more out of like a habit, just a kind of a hobby. What we got good, give me something sweet, give me something salty, I get a taste for something. But just like craving food, it's not that hard. So here's what I'm going to do. Tonight before I go to bed, we have a strip, a push-button electric strip hooked to our television and our dish satellite. I'm going to push that button on that switch, and I'm not going to turn it back on until Thursday morning after the revival's over. Okay? See, I want to hear, thus saith the Lord, not thus saith the O'Reilly. If you don't get that, that's probably really not bad. So I'm not going to watch it. Now, I will have to turn on my internet at work because I have to check my emails. That's how we do business by and large today. But I challenge my wife to not do one of her country blogs. Have we decided anything on that? They're not country. What are they? Well, I call them country. They're about gardens and houses and stuff like that. You're going to turn the TV off, and I'm going to turn the TV off, and you're going to turn the computer off. I don't know. I'm not making you say. I'm just telling you my challenge. That's what our discussion was this week. I'm not telling you what you need to do, but I'm going to tell you this. I believe if you'll make some time for God in your life, and I tell you what we did enjoy, we upped our personal devotion and prayer time, and God took me into some times of prayer, and I'll tell you what, the devil showed up too. He came around just like he did Jesus, and he come and began to pound on me and tell me it wasn't worth the effort and to back off a little bit, and he'd back off, and can't we make a deal? And it was nuts. What would you do to see God work in this place? Whatever that is, that's what I'm asking you to do. We're not going to have an altar call today. I'm asking you to come next Sunday ready to hear from God. Stand with me this morning. Come back tonight at 6 o'clock. Brother Kime, why don't you and your wife go out to your table and let people, if you would like to visit with him, if you know you're not coming back tonight,